Here's the problem with every productivity hack you've ever tried. They all assume you're working on the right things and just need to do them faster or better. But now what if? What if you're not? What if most of your time goes to tasks that don't move the needle on what really matters? Now, this illegal feeling productivity hack forces you to confront this uncomfortable possibility. Understanding why pausing feels like a waste but actually unlocks your biggest wins changes everything. You might recognize this feeling already, that nagging sense that something isn't quite right with how you spend your days. The great productivity lie we all believe is that we've been sold a fundamental lie about productivity itself, and it's time to expose it. Most productivity advice focuses on doing things faster. Time blocking promises to organize your calendar perfectly. The Pomodoro technique breaks your work into focused chunks. Task batching groups similar activity together. These methods are amazing. They are effective in what they do and they optimize your execution of tasks, but they never question what you're actually doing. They assume your tasks are already the right ones and you simply need to do them better. Now, many of us finish the day swamped, yet feeling little sense of the progress of what we've actually achieved. Now, this widespread feeling suggests the problem isn't speed, but the direction of where we move. When so many people feel this way, despite having access to more and more productivity apps, AI tools, and more than any other generation in the history of mankind, we must question our approach altogether. You see, the issue runs deeper than poor time management or just lack of focus. We optimize our efficiency at tasks that might not matter, while the truly important work gets pushed aside. You're just adding up tasks into your productivity app, putting a time and a Gantt chart, and you want to just complete it. But we need to pause before that. Because you see, you become incredibly skilled at responding to emails within minutes, but you avoid writing the proposal that could completely transform your career. Your inbox stays clean, while your meaningful goals collect dust. Isn't that sad? Consider a common scenario many professionals face. Spending an entire afternoon perfecting spreadsheet formatting while postponing the strategic planning session that could completely reshape their department's future. Now, this spreadsheet looks flawless. Every cell aligned, color coded, looks so professional and glossy. You feel productive because you accomplished something visible, tangible, measurable, and so on. Yet the planning that could address your team's biggest challenges remains untouched. Your perfectly formatted spreadsheet becomes a monument to misplaced priorities. This reveals the efficiency trap. When you get better at doing the wrong things, you just waste time more efficiently. Let me repeat that for you. When you get better at doing the wrong things, you just waste time more efficiently. You become a master of motion without any progress. Your skills improve, your systems become very sophisticated and possibly automated, and your execution becomes flawless. But you're running the full speed in the wrong direction. And that can become your greatest tragedy. The more efficient you become at these misaligned tasks, the further you travel from what truly matters. Because you see, you got great speed. And with great speed in the wrong direction, the risk is that you're going to go a long way down the wrong track. The productivity industry sells you tools to climb this ladder much faster. But what if it's leaning against the wrong wall? Every app, method, and system promises to help you accomplish more and more in less and less time. They measure your success by how many items you've checked off your list, how quickly you respond to your messages, and how busy your calendar appears. Now, these metrics create the illusion of progress while potentially moving you away from your most true goals. Most productivity hacks are just sophisticated forms of procrastination from what really matters. That elaborate project management system you spent hours setting up and looks absolutely fabulous. It might be helping you avoid the scary work that has no clear steps at all. The color coded calendar that took you an entire afternoon to perfect, that could be delaying the uncomfortable decision you need to make about your own future. You deserve to know the difference between these being efficient at tasks versus being effective at life. Efficiency means doing things right, checking off every inbox item, following your systems perfectly, completing tasks quickly. This feels productive because it's measurable and visible. Effectiveness means doing the right things, working on goals that align with your values, focusing on activities that create the life you actually want to live. Imagine if you discovered that half your daily activities don't contribute to any goal that matters to you. The emails you answer so promptly might not require responses at all. The meetings you attend religiously might happen without your input at all. The tasks you complete with such dedication and fervor might serve purposes that no longer align with your bigger priorities. This realization can feel overwhelming for you, but it also offers tremendous hope. Consider this perspective. Every moment spent on the wrong activities is a moment stolen from the right ones. Your time and energy are finite resources. When you invest them in misaligned tasks, you create an opportunity cost that compounds daily. The question becomes not how to do more things faster, but how to identify which things deserve your attention at all. But there's one hack that feels completely wrong because it asks you to stop doing and start questioning. It goes up against everything we've been taught about staying busy and productive. Why stopping feels like cheating. The most powerful productivity hack feels illegal because it requires you to do something our culture says is lazy, which is pause and think. Pause and think. This goes against every instinct you developed about what productive people do. You've been trained to believe that productivity means constant motion, endless action, and visible progress. If ask you to think of an imagery of a person who's productive, what comes to your mind? Immediately, Gantt charts and checklists, and a person who's busy writing something and accomplishing something. It's all motion, right? Now, the idea of deliberately stopping to reflect feels like breaking these rules of success. This hack involves stepping back from your endless to-do list to ask three simple questions. Where am I going? Why? What do I actually need to get there? These three questions sound very basic, but they require something most people never give themselves permission to do. You must create space between yourself and your tasks. Let's call it a healthy detachment. You must resist the urge to keep moving and instead allow yourself to simply think. This feels wrong because you're not producing anything measurable during these moments. Your brain will resist this because it feels unproductive. You're not checking things off a list or moving fast. Oh gosh, what am I doing with my time? I've actually been so lazy. When you sit quietly with these questions, your mind immediately starts generating other tasks you could be doing instead. You think about the emails in your inbox, the projects with approaching deadlines, the calls you need to be returning. This resistance happens because you trained your brain over multiple years and decades to associate value with visible activity. We've been taught busy equals valuable. So stopping feels lazy, even though quiet reflection sparks our very best breakthroughs, insights, revelations born from within. That's what you need. That can change your life trajectory like no productive activity which runs from one checklist to another can. From childhood, you've learned that adults praised you for doing things, not for thinking about things, doing things. Society rewards visible action over invisible thinking, making reflection feel selfish or even lazy. Yet research revealed something remarkable about these moments of apparent inactivity. Your brain becomes most active during rest, when you disengage from specific tasks and allow your mind to wander internally. During these periods, your brain makes connections between seemingly unrelated concepts, processes information from your experiences, and generates innovative solutions to problems you've been carrying for a very long time. The times when you feel least productive might be when you're most productive at the very deepest level. Your brain uses these quiet moments to organize everything you've learned, connect links between ideas that seemed separate to you, and create understanding from confusion. Now, this internal work happens below your conscious awareness, which is why it feels like you're doing nothing when you're actually doing the very most important work possible. Consider how your best ideas come in the shower when you're not trying to be productive. Why is that? It's because your brain is running in its most creative form. It's it's working in its optimum, which means that it's connecting things which you with your all your effort will never ever be able to connect forcefully. It needs to happen organically. You step into the warm water with no agenda in the shower except for getting clean. Just apply soap, warm water, and I'm out. Your mind, though, relaxes from its usual focus on tasks and deadlines, and suddenly the solution to a problem you've been struggling with appears clearly in your thoughts. That's where you have this brainwave suddenly, and you're like, you have that aha moment, and you feel the need to go and grab a pen and write it down before it just disappears. Because when you're back in your desk, it does disappear because you're now trying to force that thought to come back to you. And there you're going back to your checklist of adding another activity. The creative breakthrough you needed arrives without effort. This happens because your brain finally had space to work with without the interference from your conscious trying or the force. You might find that your most valuable insights come during walks, when washing dishes, or in that quiet moments before sleep. These are times when you're not actively pursuing productivity, yet your mind is free to make the connections that lead to real progress. The irony is that our most productive moments often happen when we stop trying to be productive. You can't put thought deeply about my direction on a resume or a performance review, can you? You can't measure contemplation in the same way you measure completed projects. Now, this creates pressure to be always doing something that others can see and recognize. The result is that you avoid the very activity that could make all your other activities more meaningful and effective because you're waiting for others to look at you and see you busy. Consider this perspective. Every moment of reflection that helps you redirect your efforts toward what really matters saves you countless hours of misdirected work later. The 15 minutes you spend questioning your goals could prevent weeks of pursuing the wrong ones and wasting your precious time. The hour you invest in understanding your motivations could transform months of unfulfilling activity into meaningful but small progress. This hack feels illegal when it's actually the most natural thing you can ever do. Your mind naturally wants to pause. It wants to process and it wants to evaluate. Fighting this natural tendency creates the very inefficiency that productivity culture claims to solve. Don't buy into that But what happens when you never give yourself permission to pause and question where you're heading? The hidden cost of never stopping. You pay a price that compounds daily, but most people don't realize it until it's too late. The damage happens slowly, quietly, like water wearing away stone. Each day feels productive because you're checking off tasks which you can see, and you're meeting deadlines which again you can see. Yet something inside you knows that despite all this motion, you're not moving forward anything that truly matters to you. Without regular reflection, you may run smoothly but head nowhere meaningful. Without pausing to check your compass, each efficient day drives you further off course. The faster you move, the more time you need to correct direction when you finally realize your mistake. The cost isn't just wasted time, it's wasted life pursuing goals that don't actually fulfill you. And why would you want to do that when your life is so short? A few decades is all you have. Time moves in one direction only. The moments, the months you spent climbing towards a promotion you don't really want cannot be reclaimed. The years you invest building a business that doesn't align with your values become years you cannot live again. This isn't about small inefficiencies in your daily schedule. It's about the fundamental direction of your existence. Imagine working tirelessly toward a promotion you don't really want. That monthly burn feels much worse than you realize you never ask what you truly value. Each day of misdirected effort doesn't just waste that day. It builds momentum in the wrong direction. Your skills develop around the wrong activities, which is a shame, isn't it? Your network grows in areas that don't serve your true interests. Your reputation becomes attached to work that doesn't reflect who you want to be. You become increasingly good at things that move you away from fulfillment. This momentum makes changing course feel impossible because you invested so much in your current path. The emotional toll reveals itself through exhaustion that comes from working hard but feeling empty. The sense that you're living someone else's life. You wake up tired even after a full night's sleep because your spirit knows you're spending your days on activities that drain rather than energize you. Being busy with the wrong things affects your connections with people who matter as well. You become too busy for dinner with friends, too exhausted to really listen to your partner, and too distracted to be fully present with your children. Consider this perspective. Every hour spent on misaligned tasks is an hour not spent on what actually matters. While you perfect systems for work that doesn't fulfill you, you're not developing skills for work that could. While you attend meetings that don't advance your real goals, you're not having conversations that might actually open doors to your dreams. While you organize your life around other people's priorities, you are not creating space for your own. The opportunity cost compounds every day because meaningful activities often require sustained attention to develop and nurture. Creative projects need time to grow. Important relationships need consistent nurturing. Significant learning demands focused energy. When all your time goes to busy work, these meaningful pursuits never get the attention they need to flourish. They remain forever on the list of things you'll do when you have time. You deserve to know that the real cost of constantly doing more without questioning what you're doing isn't just inefficiency, it's living an unexamined life. This means reaching the end of your days and realizing you spent most of them serving purposes that you were not yours at all, pursuing goals that didn't fulfill you, building a life that never felt like home. And that will be a terrible tragedy indeed, to come to the end of life and to feel like that. The tragedy isn't that you failed at productivity. The tragedy is that you succeeded at being productive in all the wrong things. The solution requires embracing something that feels completely counterintuitive to everything you've been taught about success and achievement. You need to rethink these two concepts. The most productive thing, finally, you can do is regularly stop being productive to make sure you're being productive on the right things. This isn't about adding another task to your list. This is about protecting yourself from wasting your life on activities that don't serve your deepest purposes. This week, schedule 15 minutes to ask yourself those three questions and resist the urge to fill the time with tasks. Where am I going? Why? And what do I actually need to get there? Your mind will try to convince you this time could be better spent doing something else. Let me know in the comments when you last paused to reflect and how it helped redirect your energy. I'd love to hear your experience with this illegal filling hack. You have permission, really, to pause because a purposeful life beats busy work each and every single time. Thank you.